Now that we've essentially mastered the future tense, it's time to try the conditional tense. And the beautiful thing is that the conditional tense is really close to the future tense. Pero seguimos. The equivalent in English for the conditional tense significa I would do something. It's called the conditional because it's like if the conditions were different, you would be able to do something. Or one thing depends on the other. It's conditional. So it's always going to mean would something. Like I would run, I would sleep, I would eat. So unos ejemplos que tenemos, like I would like to improve the environment. Me gustaría mejorar el medio ambiente. Or could you cook for me? Podrías cocinar para mí. So just like el futuro, el condicional is very special because of two things. Guess what? They're exactly the same as the last one. Las terminaciones son iguales para todos los verbos AR, ER, IR. So it doesn't matter if it's an AR, ER, or IR verb because the endings are not specific. It's just one ending for all three. Y las terminaciones se añaden al infinitivo del verbo. Just like the future, we leave the infinitive like hablar. We leave it. It's hablar. We don't take off the AR like we've always done. And then you put the endings on afterwards. So it'd be like hablar, and then you add the ending. So those same two things are exactly the same as the future. 100% the same. Las terminaciones para el condicional son, they are bailar, ya, and then comerías, iría, bailaríamos, comeríais, irían. So you're going to add ia, ias, ia, íamos, iais, and ian to any verb, any AR, any ER, any IR, and you add those endings. And then that is how you would say you would do something. That is the conditional. Estos terminaciones son los mismos, the exact same del imperfecto para verbos ER, IR. So before where we had like ER, IR verbs, we might have had comía. So that would be the imperfect I used to eat, comía. But if you wanted to say I would eat, that would be comería. Hear the difference? Comía, comería. So we're going to leave that ER on there. But these are the exact same endings as we had for the imperfect for ER, IR verbs. Hopefully you notice that. So maybe pause it, try and do some of the examples moving forward. Again, to solidify how to do this, literally copy the verb from the top of the table, and then make sure that you like paste it in all 6 boxes, and then add these endings. So pause it when you're done with those 18 checks, then move on. So the first one, we will have enviar. You'll see enviaría, enviarías, enviaría, enviaríamos, enviaríais, enviarían. Crecer, crecería, crecerías, crecería, creceríamos, creceríais, and crecerían. And we have descubrir, descubriría, descubrirías, descubriría, descubriríamos. That's a hard one to say. Descubriríais and descubrirían. We literally have descubrir in every one of these, and crecer in every one of these, and enviar in every one of these. So there are still irregulars, but this is literally the same slide as the future. So the first change, eliminate the E before the R. So like caber would go to caber. Before this said will fit, now it just says would fit. Saber, saber, would know. Haber, haber, there would be. Poder, poder, there would be able to. Querer, quer, and that's would, want, or would love. For the second group, we have eliminating the vowels and replacing with D. Venir, vendr. So vendría, vendría, vendrías. Salir, saldría. Would go out. Tendría, would have. Valdría, would be worth. Pondría, would set, place, put. And the last set is the exact same again as the future was. Hacer would be haría, and decir would be diría. So I know that's fast, but I want to show you kind of what your chart looks like. And I color coded it orange for the future, like because the last one was orange, and then this one's sort of a tealish color. But here are what you should be having down. So caber before was cabre, and this is all the yo form, right? Cabre, now it's just cabria. The only thing that's different is this E changes to an IA every single time. Sabre, sabria, abra. Well, I guess not every time because abra is weird. But all the other ones. Podré, podría. Querré, querría. Pause the screen here in case you want to fill these in. Group 2. Again, vendré would be vendría, saldré, saldría, and we're just taking the E and going to ia every time. Where here it's will, like someone will leave. Here it's someone would leave if the conditions were different. They would leave if they owned a car, but they don't, so they can't leave. And lastly, hacer, arre goes to arria, dire to diria. So honestly, all this is essentially just stating what you would do, the choice that you would make, or the action that you would do if circumstances were different. I would do my homework every night, but I have no free time. I would get a job, but I'm not old enough. We would speak Spanish in the United States if it weren't for all the English that we speak. Or they would buy a car if they had money. All these things are contrary to the true conditions. That's kind of why we call it the conditional. So it is very crucial that you guys really start learning this very well. We have a few days we're going to learn it, and we are going to move on. Let me know if you have any questions.